3 skirts, 2 blouses, a hat, a scarf, and some gloves. I came up. 1 pound goes a long way in Oxfam. Not an ideal situation. And it seemed like every single time we were in there, my school friends were outside waiting at the bus stop. And I'd duck behind the 10-piece skirts. I swear by the end of it, the woman behind the counter thought I had a medical problem. But it wasn't ideal, but we kept on pushing. So fast forward some years, and I've been doing athletics by now, and I'm doing pretty well. And it's 1996, and I get a call from the University of Southern California, Los Angeles. They want to know if I want to come and get my degree there. They want to know if I'll come and represent their university as their #1 hurdler. Now, I hadn't seen the place. I didn't know a soul out there, but I thought, you know what? This is the opportunity of a lifetime. So my mom helped me pack my things up together, and I flew 10 hours, 5,000 miles to Los Angeles, California. I go through customs, I go through immigration, and I get outside, and I'm waiting for the guy in the bow tie and the suit and the sign that says, Miss Danvers. And I get out, and I see no guy with a bow tie and a suit and a sign that says Miss Danvers. In fact, I saw nobody. I had just flown 10 hours, 5,000 miles, and nobody was there to pick me up. I may have been 18, but I cried like a baby that day. It was terrifying. So about 3 hours later, someone comes to pick me up. And I'm, still trying to keep the excitement up, so I start looking through the brochure that I'd received from USC. It's got a nice, friendly roommate sitting on a bed with plush pillows and cool posters on the wall. So we arrive outside my dorm. The guy dumps my stuff on the curb, and adios. So I carry my stuff up to my room, and I open the door, and there's a cool, friendly roommate sitting on a bed with plush pillows and cool posters on the wall, and then I look over at my side. Nothing. See, I just had this impression that my room was going to look like it did in the brochures. We had nothing. And I didn't have any money to get anything. The roommate had to lend me a sheet. So situations weren't always ideal, but we're pushed through it. And I did what most student athletes do. I studied hard, and I trained hard. But as the year went on, I started to feel homesick. I started to get lonely. I started to feel sorry for myself. And then July rolled around, and July is the big championship, the NCAA championships. It's all we work for. It's what every single training day is about. Somehow I made the final at these NCAA championships. And I was supposed to come in the top 3, but when I stood on that start line, all the emotions that I had, I brought them with me. And the best I can say is that I moseyed on down to hurdle 1, clambered over it, and walked off the track. Now, I'd learned a lot of lessons up to that point in my life, but I learned the greatest lesson that day. When you step up to that start line, you better cross that finish line. If you start the race, you need to finish the race. And that lesson never hit home to me more than it did in 2004. Because in 2003, I was running very well. I was running the most consistently I'd ever run. I was number 6 in the world, and I had a goal of becoming the Olympic medalist in 2004. And then I got pregnant. Not an ideal situation. But you know what? I remembered some of the lessons that I'd learned. I remembered that lesson that I learned in previous years on that day. And I decided that I'd started this race and I was going to finish it. So I trained hard and I went from strength to strength. In 2006, I became a silver medalist in the Commonwealth Games. In 2007, I was a world championship finalist. So things were looking good for 2008. But then 2008 rolls around and it seemed like every single thing that could possibly go wrong for an athlete was going wrong for me. First, I had Achilles problems. Managed to sort that out. First day back on the track, tore my hamstring. Managed to sort that out, got a virus. Now I'm running out of time. There are 4 weeks left until the Olympic Games. But you know what? I said, I started this race, and so I'll finish. And finish I did. Against all the odds, I made the final at the Olympic Games. Nobody thought I would make that final. In fact, when they released the team list, the head coach got 42 texts within the first hour asking, why have you picked Tasha Danvers? So when I stepped to that line at 10:30 p.m. on August 20th, 2008, I had a big smile on my face. And this is what happened next.
World record, the great Usain Bolt. Another final, though, out on the track right now. The women's 400 hurdle final. Tasha Danvers going in this one for Great Britain. Let's join Stuart Story.
Well, follow that, and we have to. And the women have been waiting for some time. Hejnova of the Czech Republic drawn in lane 3. Bikar of Russia in lane 2, just to the right of your shot. 54.38 her best. 3:05.8 is Rabchenyuk of the Ukraine. She was second in her semi-final, 54.6. Got a good lane, actually, the fourth lane. Not using the inside lane once again. 2 Americans in this final. There's the first of them, Sheena Toster. Just missed a medal in Athens. 4th placer. Won a heat, or won a semi-final, I should say, 54.07. So she'll be tough. And the woman outside her may well be tougher. It's a very good lane for Sheena Toster. There's Melaine Walker of the Jamaica. Medals at 3 successive World Junior Championships. She's now 25. She's beaten Toster and Ross Williams this year. Has been very, very consistent. She's won both her races in this Olympic Championship. Tasha Danvers of Great Britain and the Shaftesbury Barnet Club. Well, didn't have a season before she came to these Olympic Games, but my goodness me, it opened up once she got here, 55.19, then 54.31, very close to her best. Stride pattern looking good. I don't know whether this is a good or a bad lane for her with Walker on the inside lane, but she's got an American, Tiffany Ross Williams, outside her now. Ross Williams is 53.54, so she's sandwiched between 2 very, very quick athletes. How will she deal with that? We'll soon find out. Ross Williams won the American trials. 53.54 her best. So Anna Jesien of Poland, a European Championship finalist. She was 6th in that. Looked a little better than that in qualification, 54.36 for this final. Let's have a look at the full start list then. Bikar of Russia, Hejnova of the Czech Republic, Rabchenyuk of the Ukraine, Toster of the United States, then Walker, Jamaica, Danvers of Great Britain, Ross Williams, the United States, and Jesien of Poland. The final of the 400-meter hurdles. Danvers, one of 2 women to reach this final of this event. First held in 1984, won by Nawal Matawakal of Morocco, who's now a senior figure with the IOC. Sally, of course, the champion in 92. Well, no problem with the start, and Natasha's gone off very quickly indeed, chasing Ross Williams into the back straight. If she can hold this stride pattern together, going quite well. Toster making some ground on Melaine Walker as they go into the back straight. Ross Williams now going very strongly as they approach 200 meters down the back straight. The big 3 going very strongly indeed. Tasha Danvers in good position at the moment. If she can hold her form as they come through to the 300-meter mark, well, who knows? Toster going very strongly at the moment. Toster and Melaine Walker, these 2 into the straight. Tasha Danvers in 3rd place. If she could just hold on to this now, she'll come under pressure shortly. Melaine Walker now coming down the straight, stuttering into the hurdle but coming away from it, and Tasha, if she can just hold on, because Rabchenyuk is closing down, and I think she could get a medal. Melaine Walker is going to be the champion. She's the Olympic champion, and Tasha chasing down very quickly on Toster. Oh, it's close, but that's the 3rd place.
The record